Mr. Bill sits quiet at his desk, hands on keys but feeling less. The chat's alive like a wildfire spark. Hands on keys but feeling less. From the dark, the chat's alive like a wildfire spark. Hands on keys but feeling less. From the dark, with a rebel shine, they give and give without a stop. Even trolls get a wisdom drop. He shakes his head, he doesn't see why they're this good to someone like me. But they don't care, no they don't care, Mr. Bill. We're everywhere, you think we're too much, we're not done yet. We are attacked, we're the best on the internet. They crack jokes that make the moon blush. They throw kindness in a world so hushed. They don't slow down, they never will. Even when you doubt them still. Generous hearts, they overflow, making sure their love will show. You say you don't deserve this crew, but they'll just shout, we choose you. But they don't care, no they don't care, Mr. Bill. We're everywhere, you think we're too much, we're not done yet. We are attacked, we're the best on the Bill, we're everywhere. You think we're too much? We're not done yet. We all chat, we're the best on the internet. They crack jokes that make the moon blush. They throw kindness in a world so hushed. They don't slow down, they never will. Even when you doubt them still. Generous hearts, they overflow, making sure that love will show. You say you don't deserve this crew, but they'll just shout, we choose you. But they don't care. No, they don't care, Mr. Bill. We're everywhere, you think we're too much, we're not done yet. We are chat, we're the best on the internet.
It's like that song. Or I should change up the way that it's the music to it or whatever, but I like the words. Anyway, that was cool. All right, guys, how we doing? Nice to see a few people popping in early. Ginger Shepherd hanging in there. Paul Tissue was the first one in the chat. On the YouTube side, there's 5 people. Click the link on the other side. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Let's see what's going on here. A little bit of TDS going on here. This Hernando guy is out in San Antonio and everything. He's pro ice guy and everything, trolling some people out there. I thought this was kind of interesting.
Is that an Antifa flag? Is that an Antifa flag?
It's your mama's flag. Get the fuck out of my face.
So that they classify it as domestic terrorists. Are you a domestic terrorist? I'll take that as a yes. We got a domestic terrorist here with Antifa. Just don't cause any harm to me, please. Don't assault me. Thank you. I thought you were, are you like a fascist? You don't believe in talking? Fascists don't like to, they like to censor people. So by you doing that, it's kind of like,
are you following a fascist government?
You're a fascist for not letting me talk. Just letting you know. And no, I'm not a Nazi. You know what Nazi means? It means National Socialism, which is a democratic socialism ideology, not a conservative ideology. So you're the Nazis, not me, right? You know, you laugh because it's true.
No.
But I want to know what your
You know
pronouns
what?
are.
I do have an Antifa flag. It's called the Bill of Rights.
What's your
That's
pronouns?
what. I don't have pronouns.
You don't have a pronoun?
No,
Wow,
I
you're not part of the club then.
Why are you defending a pedophile?
Why are you defending a pedophile? Why? Epstein. Why are you defending Epstein? Yes, you are. Epstein was a Democrat. You defend Epstein. Yeah, there's no proof of
Where's the
that.
Epstein files? Instead of starting all these wars and taking on Memorial
Yeah.
and starting it, there must be something juicy in there.
I think illegal aliens are pedophiles.
Oh, really?
You know how many of them get arrested and deported because of sexual abuse of children?
Every time I turn the TV, Trump is a pedophile right there.
Still, one is too many.
What is it? Is that the Alamo? Or just a big nice church or something? Keep in mind, this is San Antonio, so I'm imagining nearby the Alamo area.
One is too many.
I'm saying that because I don't have pronouns. I'm not
One at a time. One at a time. Yeah.
Like 75% of
liberal
America, is that the kind of club
the
you're
liberal
talking about?
ideology. The liberal ideology.
75% of America? I'm not a liberal.
you
I'm
know-
a libertarian.
Oh, so you're the
Yeah, I
party
believe in
of
civil rights.
the Libertarian Party is
Civil rights part, yes,
like
I
the
believe in
party
civil
that
rights.
don't have no balls
Thomas
to take a
Jefferson.
side.
That's those are my views.
Really? Thomas
Yes,
Jefferson.
absolutely.
He's part of- I still don't know your pronouns. I like to. Is
It's
he or her?
75% of
Is
America.
it he or her?
You can, whatever you want.
So you don't
what?
know.
It doesn't matter. to
You
me
don't know
because
your
I who I
pronouns.
am. I'm a female.
All right, I can't talk to you if you don't know your pronouns. It's he or her. I mean, there's only two sexes. There's only two genders, man. It's not rocket science. What's your pronouns? What's your pronouns? She, they. So
Nose ring.
they is plural. So where is the plural come from? Are you pregnant or something?
Plural comes from about 200 years ago.
200 years ago.
So you actually have to study linguistics to understand how English works.
I went to school, yeah.
Okay, so
We didn't have this when I grew up.
What'd you study?
As well as when 2,000
That's
years,
interesting
we never
because
had.
there's actually a
they-
really long history.
Everything goes well with you and your cult.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
You're out there with a mask on a perfectly fine day. Nobody else seems sick. You call this guy a cult?
I appreciate the courtesy. Thank you.
Oh, Hernando, hard to call you, don't I? Yeah. There's something that happened also here. Some guy arrested in Britain for they're trying to host a debate on a street and everything. And Miss Mary kind of got this from Lance Videos on Freedom Watch, but it's an interesting story. I want to see what was going on here in Britain here.
I have the right to conduct a citizen's arrest, and he is under arrest. I'm retaining him under my breach of police powers. He's not going anywhere. He can sit here until the police arrive. He's sitting here. He's biting me. He's biting me. He's not going anywhere.
Breaching of the peace, yeah, citizen's arrest type thing there. Trying to, you saw him do something. You have it on video. Let's see what the police might do if they come up on this one here.
He's just attacked me. He's under arrest. Let go.
Who are you arresting, bro?
I don't. I just get his arm. Get his other arm.
Crazy person.
No, this man is under arrest. Oi, you fucking get off him.
No, bro.
Get off him. Fuck off. Cop, you get off him. He's just assaulting me.
This is the left guys who've currently just been assaulted for having debates with people.
We've just been insulted by a number of people. Come over, flip the table, smashing camera equipment. I grabbed the man who did it, put him under citizen's arrest, asked for the police to be called. University staff have come in, assaulted me, even though I clearly indicated he's under a citizen's arrest. I had him there, I said, call the police, call the police, call the police. So I requested that you lot were called. Yeah. And the university staff have come in and assaulted me and helped him get away.
Britain needs mass deportations. This is my organisation. Very similar to...
That's going to roll people up, mate, isn't it? If you don't want things to kick off, I suggest you don't create a situation.
So we have to live in a
Don't create a situation where he has his own opinions.
society where we can't say what a leading polling party...
Reform Party 31%, 22%. So I don't know what the other parties are, but I like this guy.
in the country.
Let me see the footage. This is the man who attacked me. You're going to arrest him.
Step away. Step away.
Wait.
Step
Are you going
away.
to
Step away.
Wait, oi! You ease up. He just went and pushed me really aggressively. You're approaching someone else.
No,
don't touch me.
Will, all right,
Your
Will.
colleague's just assaulted me. Learn some Manners. We've been talking with you nicely.
Under arrest, Common.
Whoa. How? For what? Help!
And the guy that got attacked is evidently being under arrest for not wanting to be assaulted.
I have done no crime. I've been here engaging in a public, peaceful debate, and this is how the police act. This is not acceptable. In England, this is meant to be some sort of democracy. We are meant to have free speech in this country. And my ancestors went through 2 world wars. But this country, I can't breathe. You are criminals. You're violent Tuesday criminals. The minute you knew what was on that banner, you decided, let's go for him.
Hey, Kitten Duo, thank you so much. Stadium member, 20 months. Whoa, baby, let's go. Nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you guys don't know where the member button is, you don't have to, but it's somewhere down here or down there. Thank you so much, Kitten. All right. I just can't stand it. Can you imagine being in Britain and they're not doing their jobs? The guy shows you a video of him being assaulted and they don't arrest the other guy for doing the assault. They attack the guy that was assaulted and trying to do a civic duty and hold those people accountable. And the University of Leftists decided that they're happy with a guy being illegally detained.
Vote for the right winger. Please up the right winger. You people disgust me. You are corrupt. You are Sadiq Khan's lapdogs. You're a stud staffel. You're a Stasi.
Why is the guy that assaulted me not arrested?
What? You think I've done? Yeah, hurt me some more.
Craziness in Britain. I'm sure Tony Robinson's all over that. Hopefully Nigel Farage also is going to do something there.
More steel than Japan. Yesterday they reported for the first time in 26 years, the United States of America produced more steel than Japan. And that is entirely driven by your tariffs.
Amazing.
Let's go.
Clear. I don't read a lot of social media. I don't read a lot of media. I don't believe half what I see. We are not surrendering the president's mission.
Yeah, I don't know if was he resisting arrest. They started to get him after, he went to talk to that guy or something like that. Was he told not to go talk to the other police officer? If he was, then yeah. But I don't think it doesn't seem like he was told not to talk to the other police officer over there. And he didn't touch him. That other police officer touched him first. Then he went back to where he was at. And then it looked like they put hands on him first. Well, so there are probably some other camera angles out there.
And immigration enforcement. Let's make that clear. Prioritization of criminal aliens doesn't mean that we forget about everybody else. That's just simply ridiculous.
And I don't think he was resisting.
When you have a criminal standing here and a non-criminal standing there, that criminal always should be targeted first because he's a significant concern to the safety and security of the community. By at large, for decades, ICE and CBP have carried out their duties with integrity, professionalism, and compassion. That remains the expectation of President Trump, and I will hold our agents and officers to that standard.
Boom, drop the mic. They don't understand that ICE does have standards just like every law enforcement agency. Homeless situation in Seattle here.
Environmental decimation, drug needles, appliances, stolen scooters, clothing, mattresses, pillows, sex trafficking, prostitution, drugs, theft. It's awful. And it's right off Nickerson and has been here for months and months. There's nobody here. It's been completely abandoned. But what a catastrophe this is. Diapers, children's toys, and some sort of sex toy. My question to the mayor and to voters is, when is enough enough? When are we going to start calling these drug scenes, crime scenes, prostitution scenes, environmental catastrophes? When does it end? When will we stop calling this anything short of a mental health and drug addiction crisis? This is a perfect example where we allow our spaces to become overtaken only to be swept, rinse, repeat. Enough is enough. Don't sleep, they say.
Well said. Well said. Linwood, California, local terrorists lose their minds because cops rolled up to protect ICE, anti-riot, less lethal rounds, locked and loaded. Please, officers, empty those cartridges on these clowns. Less lethals. I appreciate it. Thank you, Tanya.
You don't want to punch me because I'm scared. Fuck you and your mom. Fuck that little son. Nigga.
Disgusting language these people use all of the time.
Over 50% of Glenwood City budget goes to these bitches.
If you like the Mexican flag, go to Mexico. There's a lot of them there. There'll be more action there than that. Here's a little commercial for you. Not Mr. Bill. That might be more like Rooster when he's having a banana or something. I don't know.
Speaker right now from authorities warning the protesters they have about 3 minutes to leave. That was about 2 minutes ago, so it should be down to the 60 seconds. Here, they're shining the spotlight on me, but here is a lot of authorities here. They're starting to load up. We'll see if we see any of the arrests, but we can see they're in the riot gear. We actually see an armored truck over here. Now, on the other side, we did see a lineup of state troopers. This looks to be local police, and there right there
Sounds good.
is the armored vehicle. So we'll see if they move in to make arrests. But you can see there, here's the riot gear. There we have that loudspeaker. Can you hear it?
Yep. University of Minnesota, they were going after, huh?
They're about to move in. Stay tuned. So right now we.
Good job, Jorge Ventura Media with Daily Caller. How are you guys doing on that poll there, guys? Okay. Was this a good question? 70% say yes of the 10 votes. 30% say no. Okay. So it was a pretty good question to ask. Okay. So far, for a little while there, it was 50-50 on that poll question. What are these leftists talking about?
Accountability lies with the president, who unleashed us. Is not just an academic concern, is that when you have that level of corruption, you don't have accountability and all of our lives get worse. It is astonishing that someone like Kristi Noem still has her job. I still don't understand.
It was surprising that somebody who can't fix potholes in a small city was nominated for transportation secretary. That's what's phenomenal, that someone who can't do the basics of their job of a city, let people get to and from work and traverse the city, was nominated to take care of the transportation for our country. But yeah, let's talk about somebody else's job, but not sort of take accountability for your lack of field leadership that's Duffy has to take care of now.
And how she still has her job after she failed to approve search and rescue teams.
Oh, you skipped it. Okay. Can anybody tell her what the question was? Tanya doesn't understand what the question. Didn't see the question. So
last summer in Texas while Texans were dying in the flooding that was going on, let alone what's going on right now. Of course, ultimate accountability lies with the president, who unleashed these forces not for the purpose of keeping the peace, but for the purpose of creating chaos and deflecting from his economic failures and other problems here at home. Now, Congress is supposed to hold people accountable.
Just FYI, the question is the question. Is this a good poll question? Is the poll question? it play on words kind of thing or something, you know.
Accountable. We're seeing more spine than usual from congressional Republicans. We'll see how it lasts. But ultimately, it's the American people who will have to hold all of these politicians, from the president on down.
I was kind of wondering if it threw anybody off on that one.
Down, accountable for their choices, accountable for endangering lives in Minneapolis, accountable for their priorities. Passing this big budget bill that went through, taking money out of healthcare while shoveling it into tax cuts for billionaires and massive funding increases for ICE, making it better funded than the entire rest of law enforcement. If this is really about crime, you'd think that they wouldn't make ICE bigger than the FBI itself.
Not about crime, about immigration. Hence the term Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. Not crime, you idiot.
That's what's going on. It has clearly harmed the American people, and the ultimate accountability for
the American people as an American citizens. How is saving them tax dollars hurting them? Please tell me that.
That will come from the American people.
What a complete idiot.
Renee Good and Alex Preddy could have been completely avoided had local and state law enforcement been able to do their job. Yes, both Good and Preddy made very poor decisions that ultimately led to their deaths. However, they would never have had the opportunity to come in contact with DHS had local and state law enforcement been able to do their job enforcing law and order. And this is all a result of garbage leadership from people like Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. You have Democrats crying and pushing their propaganda, claiming this is federal overreach, when none of this would be happening if city and state leadership were doing their job, prioritizing public safety and the law over political optics. You have Walz and Frey calling federal law enforcement Nazis, fascists, and the Gestapo, and literally declaring war on the federal government, which is a violation of the Insurrection Act. All for what? To intentionally create an environment where lawlessness and chaos are not only tolerated, but encouraged. Guess what ICE's job is? It's to locate and apprehend individuals with deportation orders and immigration violations. It's not crowd control and going toe-to-toe with violent activists. That's the job of local police.
Yes, it is.
This is why sanctuary cities are a massive problem. Local police are discouraged or outright prohibited from sharing information, honoring detainers, or assisting immigration enforcement, even when these illegal aliens are repeat violent offenders. This refusal from local law enforcement to work with DHS are one of the reasons you only see this type of stuff coming out of Minnesota. When violent agitators realize that law and order are thrown out the window simply because it's politically convenient for local and state leaders, they start acting feral like we've been seeing for weeks now. They literally bit an agent's finger off the other day, and another agitator had her finger blown off because she thought it was a brilliant idea to pick up a flashbang. Really high IQ stuff here. ICE agents shouldn't be placed in situations where they're having to defend their lives from people acting like domestic terrorists. And if local police had been allowed to do their job, Alex Preddy and Renee Good might still be alive today. But instead, Tim Walz and Jacob Frey chose to encourage the violent mob to not only put themselves in harm's way, but to threaten the lives of federal law enforcement too.
Pretty simple to understand. Why is it so hard for Democrats to understand that? It's like, if they did their job, if they're Democrats say that they're law and order, then they would have followed federal law and reported immigration people. You know, if I was ICE, I would bring the prison guards, whoever made the call to say, we got a guy here, we're releasing him or whatever, bring them some Krispy Kreme donuts and everything to say thank you for giving us that call, or giving them $40 or $50 because it's going to save them about, $200, worth or more, worth of bringing extra agents to go get them where they live. So here's a $20 box of Krispy Kreme donuts. That's you find, or whatever the prison guards eat. Haley West over here the other day too. I'm going to try to interview her tonight or tomorrow, maybe. I might hold off. Let's watch. I'll watch it later. Maybe I'll send her a message.
Here on the University of Minnesota campus in Minneapolis right now, and after multiple warnings,
Very emotional,
officers
yep.
have moved in and they are making dozens of arrests. I repeat, dozens of arrests. I've seen at least 50 to 60 people rounded up. They're all sitting down across the street. Media is not being allowed to cross the railroad tracks right now, but
crazy.
Again, we are being kept on this side so the officers can continue to do their job. And if you can see behind me, you have the buses with the bars, and that's where all of the suspects are being rounded up. Many of them will likely face disorderly conduct charges. Again, multiple warnings to leave the Graduate Hotel.
My guess is they'll be let out in 3 hours and not charged with anything by the local DA.
Staying there, and they're making a whole bunch of noise, trying to disrupt their evening. And that's when the officers started moving in.
Good job, Jonathan Cho. Shows what's going on in Minneapolis. Here's an interesting boomer here.
The state of Minnesota. Right now, sir, what does this moment mean for the community of Minneapolis and the state of Minnesota?
Well, I think it means a lot more for the United States in general. Every single citizen who loves the Bill of Rights, loves the Constitution, thinks that we still have a chance to be the beacon of the world. Because right now, this is a besieged city by its own federal government. We lost our rights, and we're besieged, but we're not defeated.
And
You're right now practicing one of those rights. And the guy in front of you is also practicing that same right. Hey, TD Wave, how you doing? Nice to see you. What's going on? I was watching MDG earlier, doing a good job over there. But like, what rights are you losing, buddy? Okay. First Amendment right, Second Amendment rights, Fourth Amendment rights, 10th Amendment rights, you know, the federal over the state, you know, that's almost kind of being out there already. Which rights are you losing here? Give us an example.
Right now, sir, some Democrat lawmakers are coming out and saying that there needs to be a stronger push to not only abolish ICE, but to potentially prosecute ICE agents committing crimes. What's your viewpoint on that?
That's a simple one to me. ICE is just a symptom of something much deeper and much worse. And like I say, if we don't wake up to it, we're going to lose.
There's idiots. They don't do any research. They think ICE just started when Trump got into office or something like that. Like, no.
What we have.
Just because they weren't enforcing law under Biden and under Obama, north of that 100-mile barrier, basically, does not mean that they were not supposed to enforce law.
And then my last question, sir, is if you just had a moment to have like a direct message to President Trump, what would that message be?
That man's insignificant to me. I would call on names like Payne and Lincoln and Washington right now.
Okay. Lincoln literally declared martial law in much of the North during the Civil War and prevented a lot of people from having their civil rights during the Civil War. You're going to call on Lincoln for that. You just said people don't have their rights in Minneapolis. And when you're under martial law, your rights are postponed. Is Thomas Paine? It's not Liberty or Death guy. It's a different guy. But even he understood, you know, to be a civil society. And when you're not a civil society and not kind of attacking federal officers for no reason, then that's kind of a bad thing. What an absolute uneducated boomer. local businesses are boarded up, including Sweet Green, Starbucks, and Chick-fil-A. The funny thing is, like, tons of companies work with ICE. You know, there's a list that came out the other day, like Apple, Google, Amazon, a whole bunch of other ones. Are they going to go after all those businesses too, since that's where they get most of their stuff? Absolutely psychotic. Fulton County or something like that here, they're whining about, oh no, the feds kind of finally decided to do something about the Georgia Fulton County nonsense going on there.
Out of our control. We don't know where they're being taken. We don't know what's going to happen to them. So we can no longer, and I can no longer, as chair of this board, satisfy not only the citizens of Atlanta, but the citizens of the world, that those ballots are still secure. So that is a major concern that I have right now. Again, my point is, once they were here, as long as they were here in control of Fulton County, I was confident that they were safe and secure. And the other point I'd like to make, this goes
Trying to make it look like the feds are going to change the information on them or something.
back to the 2020 elections. For the life of me, I still cannot understand the fascination about the 2020 elections, which occurred 6 years ago. That election is over with. That election has been reviewed, it's been audited, and in every case, every instance, we get a clean bill of health.
Exactly, Rooster, yeah.
Anybody who knows what happened in 2020 on that night at State Farm Arena, it was Fulton County Commission Chairman Rob Pitts. I was there. So the fascination with this, I still don't understand it, but we'll have more to say.
Please tell us what happened at 1 a.m. in the morning Pacific time, and why your state and 6 other states, it was a 5 or 6, quite a few states kind of all of a sudden kind of froze all their information. Please tell us why all that information was not going on there. I was eating pizza in Sandy with some buddies and everything, and it looks like Trump's going to win. Trump's going to win. It'll be close. It looks like Trump's going to win the right states. And then we kept looking for any kind of change in some of the states, for the next 2 or 3 hours. Okay. Did these people forget how to count all of a sudden? Was there a glitch in the computer system in 6 different states? What happened? We were all curious. That time, if you were watching, closely at that time, you're like, you weren't watching what was going on in the news, Fox or whatever you were watching and everything. Everybody was watching the ticker, the thing on the bottom, like, okay, that it still says 52 to 48. It still says 2% lead for Trump. It still says 10,000 person lead for Trump. And then later on, it would always, interesting stuff. Interesting. Crazy. Even though it was a very fair and free election, totally nothing wrong with it. Totally, things could perfectly fair. Everybody would count. They got counted just fine and everything. I'm just wondering why my TV kind of froze, because this video uses fair use for the purpose of criticism, commentary, satire, news reporting, teaching, education, and research. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
I just want to say that Fulton County Department of Registration and Elections is always and will continue to maintain fair, transparent, and accurate elections. And we will continue to do the work of the electorate here in Fulton County. The FBI is still in the building. We have fully complied. We will always comply with
it was like 2 hours.
Law enforcement and with the rule of law. And that's what we do here in Fulton County. And that's all I have to say.
How concerned are you, sir? How concerned are you voter information will be compromised? How concerned are
That's they're going to the narrative. They're going to say it's going to be compromised because the Federal Bureau of Investigation has it.
Do you blame President Trump for what happened? For this attack on Representative Omar?
Well, certainly, it's the tone that's in this country. This has all been said. I think it goes back, years of this type of political rhetoric. I can't specifically,
What? Calling people fascists, calling people Nazis, calling demeaning people, calling them maggots. What kind of rhetoric are we talking about? Trump using silly names for specific people and things like that. But I'm trying to remember, when did he blame all Democrats and call all Democrats certain names? I don't remember him doing this.
The subject, I talked to the representative last night. She was good. But this is the thing that there's no tone. And I said that the president constantly attacks Representative Omar, attacks her citizenship, attacks the very decency of it. And we've asked him time and time again to stop it. I don't believe he's capable of stopping it. I keep coming back to this. The decency of the American people is going to have to.
The decency. Have you been to Portland Ice Building? And if somebody has a red hat on, they're attacked and demeaned and harassed. What are you going to call that stuff out? No, you won't. You'll say that's peaceful protesting.
Speak up, because even in any small thing he puts on social media, he finds a way to attack her. I'm glad she's safe. Appreciate it.
Do you have any idea what the substance was?
I do not. She said
apple cider vinegar, apparently.
That they on site tested it, and I didn't get anything more. But she was good, and I think you saw her resiliency.
Location right here. It is 1401 Lee Street. Does this look like a place that people live here?
I haven't found any mailboxes. I don't see any beds. It doesn't look like it to me.
Doesn't look too comfy to sleep here. Yeah. So, Jason, explain to us.
Thank you, Nancy. How you doing? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing good. I appreciate it. Did you answer that question? Did you think it was a good question? 73% say it was a good question. 27% say it was not a good question. 16 votes. Thank you, guys. See if we can get that up to 20 votes.
With all the other places, people aren't legally able to register to vote from here. They ended up on our registration voter rolls. What is going on? What is the state going to do about this?
I'm not sure what the state's going to do about it. I turned in this address to Fulton County a couple of years ago. I turned it into the state a couple of years ago. And then recently I went back through and looked at every one of those that I had turned in and checked to see how many people are still registered to vote at those bad addresses.
Thank you guys from the MDG area over there. I appreciate you guys popping in every once in a while to say hello. I appreciate it. Make sure you watch out for my curbs out there. I don't want to trip on the curbs, okay?
Addresses today, and how many votes have been cast at those bad addresses. And my understanding, based on Georgia law, is OCGA 212590 clearly says that is a felony to knowingly allow somebody to vote illegally. And that, in my opinion, is what's happening.
Yeah, no voting illegally, not allowed. I wanted to see this here. Did I ever see that one? I think I already saw that one. Yeah, I already saw that one.
To spot these license plates, it's essentially impossible to.
Is the independent journalist you heard from in that first video being followed by insane anti-ICE activists. Haley, I want you to take us through what this guy meant when he said that you were confirmed ICE. Take a look.
We've seen this a lot.
Nice vehicle, right?
No.
Right. Get in your truck. Get the out.
Confirmed ICE through who? We're American citizens.
Okay, so why did this guy think you were ICE?
It's a great question. We were in the vehicle. There were 5 of us journalists who were, traveling around South Minneapolis. At that point in time, Cam had gotten into the Signal chats. And so we were essentially listening and following to see where we could find these convoys and obviously report on them. So we had been driving around and we saw a vehicle begin to follow us. And then there were 2 and 3. And at a point we attempted to lose them, drive around, do a U-turn. But no matter where we went, every corner they have people that are looking to spot these license plates. It's essentially impossible to avoid them unless you actually leave the area. And so we got out and, had this confrontation. And it's absolutely wild in an American city.
I cannot, but the whole place is like a powder keg. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. Cam, I know you know that. Take us through what's going on with this Signal group chat. For people at home that don't know what Signal is, it's basically like a private text message group. We're hearing that Peggy Flanagan, the lieutenant governor of Minnesota, might be in the chat. Is there any truth to that, or anyone else whose name we might be familiar with?
I've definitely seen a lot of reports to that. I wouldn't feel comfortable confirming it myself. I do more of gathering the information and then just dumping it so people like Data Republican or Zero Hour can decipher the information and figure out what it is. I split my time between doing Signalgate research and being actually physically on the ground, like you saw in that video with Haley and I. And by the way, in that clip you showed just after that first one where they're tracking that F-150, that was us. Haley and I were both in that vehicle. And they were following us, and we lost them for a second. Haley mentioned leaving the area. Sometimes it's even more difficult than that. I mean, we had to literally get out of the car and kind of intimidate these people to lose the tails that were going to follow us back to our hotel.
Can I just ask you if you think the Signalgate story is as big as we think it might be?
I definitely think so. I think that this goes to the top levels. If not the top levels being physically in the group chats, absolutely aiding and abetting. There are actually links. They have entire.
My guess is the PDX people, at least the black box types, they use Signal or something similar to kind of secure their communications somehow or another, but I can't confirm that. They might use Telegram. I don't know.
There are chats dedicated to legal advice and specifically attempting to incriminate federal agents or local law enforcement who cooperate with them for lawfare. And in there, they have links that link directly to Attorney General Keith Ellison's website, where he has a form set up for reporting federal agents.
Wow. Okay, hold that thought. I want to ask you about that. Haley, do you think it's ironic that the people who are protesting law enforcement trying to identify criminals and arrest them are asking you for ID to identify yourself?
It's absolutely ironic. I mean, you can't make up a more ridiculous story. And that's what it feels like. I mean, you walk into the city of Minneapolis, and we were in South Minneapolis at this point in time. It doesn't feel like America. I mean, we felt like, it's like going to a foreign country and being treated as, a foreigner. And this is an American city. So it's extremely disappointing to see. But this network here in Minnesota is so intricate. Like Cam said, you have the community from the Signal chat groups all the way to the top. You have politicians openly admitting to being a part of this and to, helping fuel this entire system that they have going on here. And it's the whole city. I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it's scary to think, too, if ICE operations were to pick up in other blue states and blue cities. Think about cities in California or cities like Boston or Philadelphia, where ICE operations are certainly happening, but not at the scale like they are in Minneapolis. Cam, I just want to get back to that. So there is a link in the group chat. Do we know who posted it? But this link goes to Keith Ellison, who's the Attorney General of Minnesota, correct?
Yeah, so every group chat has a description where they bank what they deem important links. Nobody necessarily sends them. It's just assigned by the admins so that everybody can view it in the description of the group chat. In there is where that link to Ellison's office is, where you can report ICE agents. And then there's also a link to the Democratic Socialists of America, which is, despite the fact they call themselves socialists, it's a communist group. Marx makes no distinction between the two. Their link is specifically for reporting local law enforcement to local elected officials, law enforcement officers who have cooperated with ICE or federal law enforcement officers. And this begs the question, what is the purpose, if they are not cooperating, of reporting local law enforcement to elected officials for cooperating with federal law enforcement? It's not a crime. Are they being penalized for cooperating with the feds?
Again, we're talking about Americans here defending criminals. It's just, this is so bizarre. 2 nights ago, the chat held what they call a healing hour, which apparently they do every night because protesting like Antifa on the streets takes its toll on your mental health. Take a look.
But 2 different ways of moving that can be very helpful if you're involved in something very stressful. One would be like a shaking. So if you might be like, oh, my body would just like to and just shake it off.
This is just, it's such a weird thing that's just shake it out. Like this is normal now for these people. And I always ask this, but do they have jobs? Do they have families? You're out there every day. Do they have like things to do with their time? Because I'll be totally honest, this could be happening. I have no interest in doing anything like this ever because I have things to do. And Haley, I don't know if you can just, what's it really like in the city? Like, what's it like downtown Minneapolis where the skyscrapers are, where people are working in office buildings? Is it dangerous there?
It's dangerous everywhere. And, I've covered in Portland quite a bit. And, you almost know the schedule of how these events are going to play out. However, in Minnesota, it's very, very different. I don't know if people have jobs because you see masses of people out on the streets of downtown Minneapolis. You see families, you see children, you see grown men. I mean, you see everybody, out in these streets. And it seemed, obviously the day following Alex Preddy's death, you saw more than maybe generally Cam and the others had seen there earlier in the week.
Do you feel safe? Sorry to cut you off. Do you feel safe, Haley? I've just got about 20 seconds.
I would say that it did not feel safe. No, not at all.
And you can't stay in the city. You got to stay 30 miles, 40 miles outside the city because these people will follow you or find out where you are. Stay safe. Keep sending us the videos. We'll keep an eye on that Signal chat as well. Cam Higbee, Haley West, thank you.
Thank you, guys. I'm going to keep
the one to expose this group chat. Haley.
I watch that later. Let's see if there's anything else in the latest news real quick here. And if you guys could do me a favor, go to my page there, my homepage, and play the video that's on there. I'm trying to get that to 10,000 views or something like that. I'm really close to hitting 10,000 views on the main video. I guess I should probably be a nice guy and just copy and paste it in here real quick here. Hold on. Your horses here if I can. Not that one. Not that one. The main one there. Where's this one? Go to here maybe. I can't find it now because it doesn't show up because it shows my current live. But the one that's when I'm not currently live or whatever, the main one there, it's like 10,000 views. When I went to Portland, maybe it'll show up here. Anybody know which one I'm talking about? So many lives there. Anyway, when we're done here, just go to the page and find it there. See what else is going on in the news here, though. Fulton County, when was this? Democrats and other officials in Georgia are petrified right now over not knowing exactly what the FBI is doing. Have you seen an unsealed warrant as of who or what the target is of the criminal investigation is? We have not seen it. We shall see what happens. When was this? 2 hours ago.
For Ecuador, and quote, the consulate employees protected this public safety threat, and he is still at large. So DHS seeking that suspected criminal illegal alien. Back to you, Sandy.
Got it. Matt Finn out of Minneapolis for us. Matt, thank you. John?
All right, let's bring in Chad Wolf with the American First Policy Institute, is also the...
What Geyer up to 1 hour ago? Oh yeah, if Geyer or some MDG Gaming let us know or whatever that Travis Juror evidently has been reported to the Secret Service or threats against the president and others. Travis, Stolen Valor guy from Portland. Is Bird Chat? What's going on?
Speaker, we must send a very strong message that the United States will no longer tolerate sending U.S. tax dollars to terrorist organizations. In Afghanistan and across, and my good friend Legend is an Afghan that fought for America, and he's my friend.
In the opinion of the chair, 2/3 being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended. The bill is passed.
We got Scott Mann, Sarah Adams, and Legend. We'll be talking about where some of this stuff is in Afghanistan and the federal government when it comes to funding the Taliban.
Stop funding the Taliban. I think that bill passed finally. So what else is going on here? That's an old one, I think. I don't want to watch that guy, even if it was an hour ago. I didn't take this job to get into the business of defending democracy. You got elected because of democracy. You might want to defend it, you're over a mayor or whatever, it's usually democracy related. Already saw that one. Don't care for that guy. Nicki Minaj, I guess, is kind of a Trump supporter now. Is she a Trump supporter, or did she just happy she got her citizenship, spending some money? I think we've covered most everything that I care about anyway. Yeah, that's enough of that nonsense.
Why hasn't that been brought to the floor for a vote? And what's your stance on requiring proof of citizenship to vote in elections?
Well, I'm for that. I've co-sponsored the SAVE Act in the past. I think my understanding is that they are still modifying the bill. It includes right now a requirement that you be a citizen to register to vote, but it doesn't include a requirement that to vote you be a resident. So in other words, if you're going to have what we call voter ID or photo ID when somebody goes into the ballot box to vote, that's not currently covered in the bill. So that's being fixed and addressed, and I think the new bill that comes out hopefully will deal with that. But I mean, at some point we'll have that vote. I'm for it. I think most of our colleagues in the Senate are, and I don't, it hasn't had consideration in the relevant committee yet. But I know there's a high level of interest among our members in getting a vote on SAVE Act.
Repeatedly urged the passing the SAVE Act as well as many agricultural.
I'm hoping they can get that thing passed by Valentine's Day. That would be a cool thing for Trump to sign on Valentine's Day. It's like, I love you guys so much that I'm going to make sure that citizens get a vote. And here's how I make sure citizens vote by signing the SAVE Act. That'd be a cool thing to do on Valentine's Day. If he probably too hopeful there. Sometime, at least by July 4th, right? All right, I don't think there's anything else going on. I'm going to send you guys over to MDG Gaming after I play some music for you. Even though, actually, there was a membership over there. So, yeah, let's consider that to pay for the music here for you. Let's find some music that I haven't played in a while, maybe. Bill T. There's a oldie but a goodie, I guess, called Bill Tifa's Big Mistake.
But it's a drizzle, a faint little sound. He's sinking in the quicksand ground. Mr. Bill rolls in with his steady stride, common sense as his trusted guide. No need to yell, no need to fight. Bill Tifa's jokes fade in the night.
Fine.
Joseph goes wrong every time he tries. His punchlines fall, his logic dies. Mr. Bill stands tall like a mountain wide. Bill Tifa runs, but he can't hide. Radical dreams built on shaky floors. Bill Tifa's knocking on closed doors. Says he's a rebel, says he's the man, but his blueprint's just a crumpled plan. Mr. Bill smiles calm as a stream. Reality sharper than Bill Tifa's scheme. Dad jokes crumble like brittle seams. Truth always beats a half-baked dream. Oh, Bill Tifa, you can't outwit. Your arguments twist, but they never fit. Jokes that flop, beliefs that split. Mr. Bill's wisdom, it's the ultimate hit.
I think I remember that. Yeah, I think I remember something about that. She was talking about, we're doing more, getting ready for 2026 or something. Yep. He's anti-ice. That's why I'm not playing his audio.
Bill Tifa stands in the corner all loud.
I'm gonna pull this different version. That sounded good too. Anyway, guys, I gotta find some lunch or something like that. So we'll see you guys later. I'm sending you back over to MDG Gaming. Make sure you hit the button there that says "Go now" to MDG Gaming. Tell them Mr. Bill sent you, even though a lot of you guys probably came from over there to over here. And tell him to keep an eye on those curbs. All right, guys. Here's a 30-second outro before you go.